Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from wherever you may be listening, whatever time it may be. My name is Ryan Dooley, and this is Let's Talk Reds. Just me again for this episode. Justin should be back tomorrow for the preview and prediction tomorrow. But yeah, like I said in the last video, if you didn't catch it, he's out of town dealing with some family stuff. He should be back soon. But yeah, just me for this one. We're going to talk about Andrew Abbott today. Before I get started, follow the socials down below. You see my Instagram and then the channels, Instagram and TikTok. Make sure to go follow us over there and let us know what you think we should do next. Also, let us know in the comments if you have any suggestions for these videos, what you've liked, what you haven't liked, or some stuff we haven't talked about so far. Hit like and subscribe too. Helps us out a lot. Share with your friends. Any Reds fans are welcome, of course. Let's get right into Andrew Abbott, last year's ace of the staff, numbers wise. Obviously, with Hunter Green missing some time, Abbott really stepped up. The question for me is going to be, is that the Andrew Abbott to expect? And I think the easy answer is no. I don't think he's a sub 3 ERA guy. I think he's probably a mid threes ERA in that 3.3 to 3.5, 3.6 range. I think that's kind of what to expect. More look at his career stats, a 3.42 ERA. That's more what I'm kind of expecting out of him. Although it would be great if he would go right back to what he did last year, because let's just put it simply, he was incredible last year. Threw 166 innings, the most of his career. Only gave up 53 earned runs. Like I said, good enough for a 2 point. What did I say it was? A 2.87 ERA. The number to look at a little bit is that FIP, that fielding independent pitching, which basically takes into account um, it's more of a stat of, are you getting lucky? Is good defense behind you? Or are you pitching as well? 3.65 FIP, so a touch higher, almost a full run higher. I expect him more in that range probably. Although finished eighth in the Cy Young last year. Uh, let's 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 just peel this back a little bit. He does it in a very he has a success every year he's been up. 2023 387, 2024 372, 2025 287. He's gotten better every single year, and he's thrown more innings every single year. He is growing as a major league pitcher. So I'm not expecting him to have a 5 ERA this year and be like, whoa, what happened to Andrew Abbott? But he does things in a very old school way. He doesn't throw the hardest. He doesn't have crazy stuff, not a crazy pitch mix. It's fastball, curveball, and man, is it dirty. I mean, it has worked. I've always loved the way he works, guys. He likes curveballs low in the zone, and he likes fastballs up in the zone. And that fastball seems to have more ride on it than maybe some people think. His pitching run value last year was 17. That's 90th percentile in the league. And 11 of those 17 come from the fastball. Again, 90th percentile in that fastball when his average is below league average for left-handers. 92.8 on the fastball. The league average is 93.1, and he uses it almost half the time at 47%. He just, for whatever reason, it works. It really works. That curve sweeper he also loves, uses a mix of those 29% of the time. The changeup 20% of the time. The changeup was a big pitch for him last year. It got him a ton of his swing and misses. Not a big ground ball guy, and that's okay. We don't really need him to be, because weirdly enough, we've seen a lot of fly ball pitchers come to Cincinnati recently and work. It seems like we're getting weak contact, and we see that with his hard hit percentage, 93rd percentile. He just gives soft contact, lazy flyouts, does strike out about the league average. He's 44th percentile with a 22% K percentage. It's good enough for what he does. And he doesn't walk guys, which I think is the biggest thing with him, because we saw him struggle with walks in 2024. Walked almost 9% of the batters he faced in 2024. In 2025, just over 6%, which is just under 80th percentile in the league. That's incredible. That is the biggest thing for him. If he's going to make guys put it in play with how well he mixes pitches and how well He can change eye levels of the hitters. It is really tough for them to put good swings and get good contact on these pitches, especially with the defense that it now looks like the Reds are kind of having. If you look at an outfield that might have Noel V. Marte, TJ Friedel, and Dane Myers out there, they're going to cover a lot of ground. They're going to make a lot of great plays. You look in the infield, we expect Ellie De La Cruz to be better at shortstop. Key Brian Hayes is the best defensive player, maybe in the league, but the best defensive third baseman easily. Matt McClain, fully healthy. He is great at second base. And then you look at first base. Spencer Steer graded out awesome at first base. If it's Sal Stewart, he's played other positions. He should also grade out well at first base. Like, he's got the defense behind him where he can pitch the contact and get that weak contact and still be successful. Now, a sub-3 ERA successful? Maybe not. I think last year he did get a little lucky with that average exit velocity being under 90 miles an hour for the second year in a row. It was 2 of the 3 years it's been under that. He does give up some loud contact. Obviously, he's going to throughout the year. He's gonna hang a pitch. Great American Ballpark isn't a known hitter's park, so you're gonna see some hard hit stuff from him. But 33.7% hard hit rate last year. That is incredible, and it's what you need. If you're not going to be a guy that throws crazy hard, if you're not going to be a guy with a disgusting splitter or something like that, you need weak contact, and he does it really well. The issue is going to be if people start barreling him up. Because if people start barreling him up, he doesn't have the pitch he can rely on to just go after hitters. That is where you can see some of this regression, and that's, I think, where you see that FIP kind of more in the mid-threes. I would expect maybe a 3.3 ERA from him this year. I think the biggest thing with him is ERA because that's a big number that people look at. And, I mean, a 2.87 ERA and a 1.15 whip, that's like, yeah, that's top 10 in Cy Young voting. He finished 8th, 29 starts, like, threw a lot. Under a 9 K per 9, though, there are signs there that there could be regression. There could not be. He could be kind of a pitcher in this era that is unlike the curve and is able to kind of get these outs the old-fashioned way. But there is also a reason that you don't see that very often, and it's because it's the hard-throwing guys with nasty stuff who it's just like Paul Skeens can throw a 96-mile-an-hour splinter in the middle of the zone, and it might not get hit that hard because it's just so disgusting. If Andrew Abbott leaves a curveball in the middle of the zone, or if he leaves a 93-mile-an-hour fastball in the heart of the plate, it's going to get hit. He has to be perfect with his location, and he has been. To his credit, he has been very, very good. Now, in spring training, he has been knocked around, and I know I don't want to talk about spring training too much because spring training, especially for pitchers, really doesn't matter that much. We've seen guys have terrible springs and go on to be great. We've seen guys have incredible springs and go on to be not all that good. I think you just do have some room here to see him regress, and that's okay. I don't think we're ever going to see him be he's taken a step forward every year of his career. I don't anticipate seeing another step forward this year and being like a top 5 Cy Young guy or maybe striking out a bunch of hitters. I don't see that. And we really don't need that. We need him to be – he was great at the top of the rotation last year. He's going to be our opening day starter with Hunter Green on the IL. Very excited for that. And funny, you see a tale of 2 left-handed starting pitchers on opening day with Garrett Crochet, fastball slider, going to blow it by you, crazy hard slider, big swing and miss, low ERA. You see Andrew Abbott, big pitch mix, not going to blow you away, going to focus on location, get weak contact, not strike a ton of batters out. Sub-2 ERA. Like, 2 guys that get it done in different ways. I think it's a very interesting matchup on opening day. So interested to see him and love that he gets the nod. Obviously, it was going to go to Hunter Green if he was healthy, but nice that Abbott gets the nod after a season worthy of that. I'm going to get into some of the predictions here. I do want to look at, he's projected to throw 166 innings this year. I think he probably throws a little more than that. I think he probably can make every start this year, and I think you see him maybe go deeper into games. I think that's the next step you could see him make. I think if he's not going to strike out guys and get weak contact, maybe trying to shorten some of those at-bats, because you see him get into some long at-bats sometimes where he's very good at setting up pitches and tunneling those pitches, but maybe just saying, hey, instead of me trying to get a strikeout here by going, fastball up and curveball, let's just throw the fastball, down in the zone and get a ground ball. Let's throw that change up in the zone and let's see if we can get a ground ball on it. Would love to see him kind of do that. Here's the number that I really want to look at is the ERA. The ERA is projected at a 4.17 ERA. And to me, that is insane. I don't see him going over a 4 ERA, especially if you kind of look at these numbers here on Fangraphs. Everything else looks almost identical. It is the strikeout percentage is 0.3% lower. The walk percentage is a tick higher. But that FIP and ERA being so much higher than it was last year, I don't see that. I don't see him having a ERA inflate by a run and a half, almost 2 runs. I just don't see that. So the line I'm going to pick on this one is going to be ERA at 4.17. I am taking the under on that. I believe he stays in the threes. I think it's a mid to upper threes, maybe anywhere in that 3.3 to 3.8 range. I think you could comfortably expect him to be in. I also think he goes over that 166 innings mark. I think you see him approach 180 and maybe even flirt with 200 because he's going to have to be a workhorse on this pitching staff with Hunter Green out until middle of July. I understand that there's some regression signs here, but he's 26. He's gotten better every year. The play on the field doesn't show me that there's any regression there. It's just some of the underlying numbers, and I could be very wrong. He could go out there and guys could figure him out, and he could have an ERA in the fours. I just don't see it. Interested to hear what you guys think about Andrew Abbott, though. Very, very excited to see the year that he's going to have. If he can continue to build on the success he's had. If I missed anything in this episode, let me know down below in the comments. Once again, like, subscribe, follow us on all of our socials. It helps us out a ton. We would love to build a great Reds community here on all of our platforms. That is all I have for you today. Justin should be back tomorrow to talk about the next player. But until then, we will see you next time on Let's Talk Reds. Thank you guys for watching this episode of Let's Talk Reds. If you enjoyed it, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. Also, leave a comment letting us know what you think we missed or points you would like to see us make in a future episode. If you enjoyed this video and you want to see more just like it, click on one of the videos on your screen right now, and let's go Reds.